Are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News, and I am live with this hot topic. We have today, like I promised, we have the big news drop from the big man Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. And if anybody can talk mierda, shite, he can. But is it mierda? Or is it shite? So that's what we want to find out. So what I did yesterday, I always want to know what you guys think of what Tyson Fury had to say. What do you think? How truthful it is? But before I get started with that, let me give the people love that's been here. Let's see if I can actually go back. It's crazy. The gap between Usyk front teeth is the side effect of juicing 24/7. Oh wow. Okay. Sebastian states that karma is coming for Fury. Kenny B, he is juicing big time. His juice is spinach and kale smoothie. He is modern day Popeye. He is just the good thumbs up. Fury will see or soon see. All right, Jack McLeod. It's Fury stirring up drama for promo. He does this. Okay. Let me go on and see if I can go farther back because I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm not being able to go back. Let's see here. Let's see if I can go all the way back. Okay. I guess not. I guess that's the only I guess that's it, folks. Okay. Big Dawsa Luke Fury will get felt all about the very place when he can't lay a glove on Usyk. Okay, Sander B. Usyk will beat both UK's heavyweight champions. Oh, wow, bold statement. Why do you even ask this question? You know very well that 90% of the stuff coming out of Fury's mouth is complete rubbish. He is just playing mind games. Okay. Your mom's okay. Usyk is a tiny steroid bum who is going to get dealt with when he fights Fury. Okay. Renee Padilla in the house. Usyk, with the mindset he has, I think doing such a thing wouldn't sit right with him. Interesting. Interesting. Red or dead. Has Fury forgotten the boar meat? St. Don in the house. State sponsoring doping. Okay. Cocaine offsets anything some peds can do. Really? I didn't know that. But that's a banned substance, so it's better not to get that in your system. Oh God, here we go again. Chris Alexander. I'm unsubscribing. Not everyone who fights on steroids. Okay, well, I don't know who you're unsubscribing to, but good luck to you nonetheless. Some give Chris a blanket. Someone give Chris a blanket. No, right? Yes, I have one spare. Well, I'll buy one. I don't have a spare one for him. Usyk will be undisputed by the end of the year. Wow. Okay. Kurt, 190s, 180s should be light heavyweight and just get rid of the cruiserweight division. But because majority of them are heavyweights. Adari, I don't disagree with that. That's why I disagree, or one of the reasons I disagree with the bridger weight, because it's just something else to make more money for the person who created the concept of making another division. All right. So Adari, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Scans rants. Don't know if Usyk's on the juice, but I agree AJ got embarrassed by a blown up cruiserweight. AJ is a very good fighter himself. Yeah, which he is. Don't even know how special Usyk is. Cruiserweight was weak. Well, Scance rants. Let me counter with this. We'll know soon enough. You know what I'm saying? We're going to know soon enough how good Usyk is. You know what I mean? So, because one thing about the heavyweight division is a lot better than the cruiserweight will ever be, probably ever. Okay, so that's that. So we will know based on the competition there. But I can tell you this: what Oleksandr Usyk has already done, against guys that are undefeated right now as heavyweights, such as Joe Joyce. A lot of people ask me, "Oh man, Joe Joyce will beat Usyk now." I told people then, and I say that now. I don't think Joe Joyce will beat Usyk. Will he try to do some small tweaks and stuff like that? Yeah, he will try, but that doesn't mean that he's going to beat that guy. Bars. If Usyk was Russian, I wouldn't even doubt it. Wow. He said he is Russian, kind of, right? Half of Ukrainian are Russians. Okay. All right. Don't know if Ukraine don't. UK is the new USSR. Okay. UK fighters are all hype jobs. Usyk is from Simferopol, Crimea. So at this time, he was born in Russia. Okay. Dave and world champ at the moment. UK might as well sponsor doping. They let guys dope with impunity. Yeah, what is a stadet? I think that's what Tyson Fury called Usyk. What is that? I was wondering that myself. Fury is doing what he always does. He's always talking about other fighters instead of his next opponent. I want to see Wilder versus Ruiz. That would be a good fight. Anyone think Canelo will fight Bradis after Macabo? I don't know. I mean, based off his track record, I see Canelo. This is what I see Canelo doing. I see Canelo going to cruiserweight, beating Macabo, and then going back to light heavy. I mean, that's what he did before. C. Malley, big up counterpunch. I think Usyk loses to the new powered up Joshua. No shame in losing to a blown up cruiserweight. Looking back, there was no shame in losing to Evander. It's exactly the same. Well, it's just a smaller fighter, but just as talented. But that smaller fighter, being talented, was able to beat some of the guys there. Look at Evander Holyfield. He did the same thing. You're right. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right. It's just he's not a Ukrainian. He's an American. But he did the same thing. And the strange thing about that is the similarities that Oleksandr Usyk, that's his idol, Evander Holyfield. And Evander Holyfield shows like, hey, yeah, I can take that type of fight. I can ditch it out. I can take it. I can do it all. Mate, leave us Brits alone, man. Usyk's one of the favorites, though. One of my favorites. Not sure if he's on PEDs, but his pace and stamina are crazy for an heavyweight. So I understand where Fury's coming from. Maybe that's true. I guess we'll never know. Well, I mean, yeah, you can't say you guess we'll never know. No, you can't say that. What you can say is, though, you can say this. As long as he passes his drug test, that's all you have to know. You know what I mean? Like, for Fury, what Fury's doing, yeah, it might be trash talk, it might be this, but at the same time, I don't understand why Fury's so surprised or whatever now that Usyk beat Joshua, because Fury has prophesied to himself that he thought that Anthony Joshua would lose to Usyk. If you guys can remember, Tyson Fury was being interviewed. I think it was him, it was Frank Warren, and I forget who he was being interviewed by, but I can tell you he said, please don't let Usyk fight Joshua before I do. Don't mess up my pot of gold. Do you guys remember that? You guys remember that I think was it maybe Seconds Out or I think it was no, I think it was in the UK. So I don't remember who interviewed him, but he was like, please Usyk, don't mess up my pot of gold. If I was a matchmaker, I'll put Joe Joyce versus Hergovic. Just imagine the fireworks between those two guys, especially based on their fighting styles. Well, we don't have that now. See, in the '90s, we would have. I think the early 2000s, we would have. If these guys would have been around then, 20 years ago, we would have saw those type of fights. We would have saw those guys duke it out because back then they did match up good fights. I don't know if it was just the networks, maybe it was HBO, because a lot of those fights we saw on HBO that we like Lawrence Clay and Clifford Rhino Black ATN, both undefeated fighters. Now Joshua doesn't use his position as well as Usyk, and Usyk is nearly twice the athlete Joshua in terms of speed and skill. Big up CP. I truly believe AJ would beat Usyk hands down in a rematch, and when that happens, other fighters would begin to call him, and we can see how he would cope coming off a loss. Yeah, I want to see Dennis everyone after they lose. It's really interesting to see how people react. We learned that from Wilder. We learned how people either they take it like men or they take it like bitches. Either way, we see how they react, and normally how they react is something real. It's authentic because it's something truly that they feel. That's how they're going to respond. That dictates how they are. If they're like gentlemen or whatever, if they have class or whatnot. It shows you whatever's inside is going to come out when a person loses. So when someone takes their O, like I like how Keith Thurman took his O to a certain degree, okay? Because when Thurman took his first O against Manny Pacquiao in 2019, he had a good speech. He spoke well. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He said, Senator, Senator, oh ye Senator, Senator, you know. But later on, like maybe a year later, he told Teddy Atlas that he felt like Manny Pacquiao had bricks in his gloves. That type of shit. Now, was it the worst thing to say? No, because we've definitely seen worse. But it surely wasn't anything to say that helps uh, legitimize the win for Pacquiao. If anything, it makes you suspect that Manny Pacquiao had something in his gloves, right? So, yeah. I think Fury beats Usyk if he lasts the distance because he made Fury look like Valuv, or whatever that is. Ukrainians will remember Fury ducking Klitschko. Usyk will want paycheck for his countrymen. I don't think that's it at all. I think Usyk has been pretty much all to himself when it came to the Ukraine. I think those are two cliques of people. I think the Klitschko's are the Klitschko's. I think when you dealing with the new generation, the new blood of guys, where you got Lomachenko, Oleksandr Usyk, Alexander Volsnik, those guys I think, are on a different like clique of people. They're different types of fighters. I think they owe it all to Papachenko though, because Papachenko, taught those guys in different ways. The Klitschko's were athletic because they were athletic due to their size. They moved decent for big guys. But were they like Usyk? No. Or Lomachenko? No. They weren't. They didn't have that type of athleticism. They didn't have that type. They were just big ass dudes that could move well for their size. Because mostly guys like Primo Carnera and those guys, they can't move all that well. They're big, they hit you, they're strong, but they're not all that athletic. They don't carry that fluidity like Usyk. Usyk's running around and duck slipping and bobbing and weaving and all that. They don't, they don't do that. Chasing him around with a couple of feints, Usyk can get round. Okay. I'm a Fury fan, but he shouldn't have said that. A test will easily vindicate someone. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing you can do in any situation. In any situation. And that's with anyone on the planet. Drug test them to find out. And in athletes, random drug tests. And I think you should go farther than that. I think it should just be, maybe twice a week or once a week or something like that that to ensure the window gets damn near microscopic when it comes to you trying to take something and cycling off of it. Okay, so there is a lot to discuss. So I have a lot to talk about. I'm just letting the chat load. The margin of skill is so high that it's hard to gauge what PEDs he'd be using. Look, here's the thing. Did you see Oleksandr Usyk fight any different against Joshua than he did against anybody else? See, it would be different if Usyk was a guy that you really didn't even really hear of and he wasn't doing anything spectacular, and then all of a sudden he is. All of a sudden he's doing these type of movements that you're like, well, damn, how good was he when we did what? It makes you want to go back and see older fights. You ever seen somebody like, damn, he's badass, and then you're like, well, where the hell was he at then? So you go back and watch 2 or 3 other fights, and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? And then when steroid accusations come out, it's like, oh shit, So I don't see that with Usyk. Usyk was just the better man. That's not my opinion, but Joshua, better man. Not in my opinion, but Joshua didn't seem sure of himself in that fight. Thoughts? I don't think he was. He was just confused. The movement, the boxing ability confused him. He never been in there like that with anybody else. That you can't shit on Joshua too much. I mean, like, he was the only dude that fought the motherfucker, except Joe Joyce. Ask him. Ask Joe Joyce. Now, Derek Chisora said he couldn't punch, but his ass was on Queer Street. He had him wobbly. So, I mean, better yet, ask Witherspoon. And what did Witherspoon say? Yeah, I think he could do pretty. I think he could do pretty good at heavyweight. Right? Kurt, can you imagine a future fight between Jarrell Miller versus Oleksandr Makhmadov? Yeah, be a good fight. I got my money on Makhmadov because on those pictures, I didn't see the video because there wasn't a video that I could see. If someone could show me that video, please send it to me. But Marius sparred Jarrell Miller yesterday, and I'm gonna touch on this just a second. And then based on the pictures I saw, I seen a lot of Jarrell Miller leaning on the ropes, and it just made me think. A lot of people, you lean on the ropes, either you're doing a rope a dope or you're trying to get some breath, so you're trying to get some air, you're trying to take a breather. And I seen a lot of him doing that and leaning back on the ropes and walk coming in. Maybe he's just trying to gruel to get the rounds in. I get it, he needs them. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that Jarrell Miller might not be the same type of fighter. Now, that's just based on those pictures. I don't know. Chris Serrano in the house. Kind of punched to you. Wilder is the black Ivan Drago. Hey, that's a good thing. That's you know what? And that's shit. If you look at the demeanor of Deontay Wilder, that's exactly how he talks. I want a body in the ring. I want a body. I want to look him in the. I want to look a kid in his eyes and cripple his daddy. He dies. He dies. Yep. Same shit. Same mentality, people. Kurt, did you notice that Joshua didn't really assert himself in that fight like he always do? Even in the first Ruiz fight, Joshua asserted himself. Yeah, he did. I think he just wasn't sure, but it was big. If you notice in the Joshua Usyk fight, there was big punches that Joshua threw that swung at air. Okay, I just gotta keep reminding people that. Who do you think would win, Marquez or Cotto? Man, that's a fight that I always wanted to see. I don't know because see, Marquez's problem. He's a very smart fighter, but I think Marquez is he's like a souped up. Listen to what I'm going to tell you about Marquez. Um, Juan Manuel Marquez is a souped up version of Roberto Garcia when he was fighting. You guys know Roberto Garcia, the short fight, fat trainer now, brother, older brother of Mikey Garcia. You know, I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I'll fight him. I'll train him. That guy. You guys know who that is? Okay, well, they have the same spirit. Both very high ring IQ. A lot of people don't know. Roberto Garcia was very good. He was the 130-pound champion. He lost the belt to Diego Corrales after he was whooping Corrales. The only problem was, the only problem was, he wanted to be a warrior. He was an Aztec warrior, you know, and sorry, and because of that, he let himself get hit with punches he shouldn't have. And that was the reason he got knocked out by Diego Corrales, because Diego Corrales was looking for people to trade him. And if he could hit you, that's all you need. Definitely. Okay. So Juan Manuel Marquez is like that. See, in those Manny Pacquiao fights, Manny Pacquiao was able to catch him with counters because he was too busy trying to be the aggressor. Roberto Garcia was the same way. So saying all that to say this, to answer the question of Cotto, Cotto likes a person if he can set you up if you're moving forward. And for that reason, I think Cotto would eventually catch Marquez with something and drop them, just like Timothy Bradley did Marquez. If you guys remember that, Timothy Bradley beat Marquez after Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao. All right, so I think Cotto. It depends, because see, Cotto is a guy. He's a boxer, but he can also bang. But he's a looping puncher, and you have to be careful. Puerto Ricans have the like this habit of looping punches. Either it's Cotto, Trinidad, even Danny Garcia. They are loop. Those punches are deceiving though, because they're very effective on how they throw those punches. And when you loop punches, it comes from this angle and it comes back around to you almost like a boomerang. And those punches will deceive you because you're thinking they're going wide, so you're leaning, but it's coming back. Bow! It can hit you in the same place that you thought you're leaning away from. You know, so looping punches are very effective. It's almost like a curveball in baseball. So Cotto, I think, would eventually catch Marquez with something big and hurt Marquez, especially in the prime. Like, let's say if this was like '08, you know what I mean? Like 2008, yeah, 2008. That would definitely be. The only problem was Cotto was a lot bigger than Marquez at the time. You know, and you know those guys were supposed to fight in like an exhibition fight, like, and it kept get canceled, pushed back, or whatever. So we probably will never see it, you know. And then Marquez started having freaking knee problems and stuff like that because they were going to fight. I think Cotto's one of his last fights was going to be Marquez, but unfortunately, it never went down. So we won't know. But they're both great fighters. I have mad respect for each of them, you know, and they are very, very respected in the boxing circles. AJ is Frank Bruno's love child. Ah, man. And see, like, look, Carl, it's comments like that that makes AJ think he won't think he may need to box every fucking fight. Klitschko was a Ukrainian legend. Not many unified Ukrainian heavyweight champions. That's true. Southpaw, he has the advantage. AJ has a chance, but he needs to gain the positional advantage. Well, yeah, he does. I mean, he needs to work and start off in the body. You know, swing upstairs off the body. Make sure that first punch is the best punch, and the punch upstairs is not as big. Kill the body, the head will die. That's what AJ needs to apply. Bars. So AJ broke. No, I doubt he's broke. There is better qualities of heavyweights now than the Klitschko era. Well, Adari, yes, I think it's kind of hard to say that. I'm going to tell you why. Throw Joe Joyce in 2001. Better yet, 2005. Take the Joe Joyce right now and put his ass in 2005. How good do you think he would do? Do that for Deontay Wilder. Do that for Anthony Joshua. I mean, place these guys 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Place them. How good would they do against Klitschko? How good you think Anthony Joshua would do against Vitali? How good you think Tyson Fury would do against a younger just Vitali or a younger Klitschko? Vladimir. Samuel Peters. You know what I mean? Like you had guys like that. Layman Brewster. How good would these guys do? Heavyweight division is on fire because those guys are no longer fighting. They brought darkness to the heavyweight division because nobody could really consistently beat them and claim superiority over them. Tyson Fury won, but the motherfucker didn't finish. Tyson Fury's supposed to beat Vladimir twice. He beat him one time. That's no different than a one-hit wonder on a song. You guys, I don't know how old you guys are, but you remember this you remember the song by Young, was it Young? Is it Young Hot Cannibals or some shit like that? She drives me crazy. Right? And like that's the only thing they did. That was it. That's what Tyson Fury did until he came back, the second coming. And showed Deontay Wilder that he could box for 12 rounds and still get up from 2 knockdowns. Bars. Then he beat the shit out of him the second fight and the third. But you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, that's just like having a one-hit wonder, but then you released it 3 fucking times. Oh, man. Aren't all boxers on the juice? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But then here's the thing. If all boxers were on PEDs or some type of banned substance, what will it really, how good does it make them? Like, what's the legitimacy of it if you got guys taking juice and they still get their ass whooped? Like, so how do you give that or measure that to, or give that steam? How do you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it about drugs would then make you the victor? It doesn't guarantee anything. AJ has looked caught between styles for a while. Hopefully Fury does the same against White. I don't know. Hopefully White and Fury fight. See, that's the whole thing. Just let the freaking guys fight. Let's get the fight made, because we get to talking about Dillian White and Tyson Fury and the actual breakdown of the fight, and that fight don't get made. We have just wasted a lot of energy talking about something that never happened. And you know what? That's sad. We've done that a whole damn year, damn near. We did that half of last year. We talked about a fight that did not happen that everybody thought was going to happen. And we did the breakdown and who do you think will win, who you think will this, that, and the other. And none of them guys fought. The people that fought are the people that we didn't expect to see. But the people that we expected to see did a very good job and entertained us. And I think that's something that we need to really appreciate. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder did it for the third time. It was a fight that nobody really wanted primarily, right? That ain't the primary fight, regardless of what people wanted to tell you what the primary fight was. The primary fight was Joshua Fury, period. But did that mean that Oleksandr Usyk didn't deserve his shot? No. Did that mean Deontay Wilder didn't deserve his rematch? No. But what happened? They both got what they deserved, so boxing really won last year. That was it. Imagine if Miller fought Joshua and never got popped. How do you think it would have played out? You know, here's the thing. That's Renee. I'm glad you asked that question because I feel that you know what, Jarrell Miller probably would have beat Anthony Joshua. You say if he would have never got caught, that motherfucker. We all okay. This is something we already know. We know for a fact Jarrell Miller had 3 different drugs in his system. There ain't nothing else you can say. You can't say that's bullshit. You can't say that's false. You can't sue me. We know Jarrell Miller tested positive for 3 substances. Okay? In Germany, 3 substances, right? We know that. We know what happened with him. He can't say it didn't happen. He can just say, I made a bad call. I'm dying inside. Right? We know that. And it was rumored that Anthony Joshua was already concussed because what's her name? Sarah. What's Jarrell Miller's ex manager's name? Sarah Petito or something like that. But she had already got word before that fight between Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua was even canceled that Anthony Joshua suffered a concussion in sparring. Someone already leaked that. They already said that. Like, look, that motherfucker got concussed. He got knocked out. Somebody hit him, caught his ass, and knocked him out. Him trying to be cute or whatever the fuck he was doing, he got caught. And then he was hurt. And then that came out, but it was like on a secret level. See, that was the type of thing only a few people knew. You know, so the question was, though, woe be unto the person that leaked it from that camp because that person is a piece of shit. You know, but it didn't matter anyway. Why? Because everyone on camp or team Miller, it didn't matter anyway because they didn't get the opportunity to act on it based on what they knew. But if Jarrell Miller would have masked or somehow got to fight Anthony Joshua and he was concussed, one left hook probably would have done it. Now, I don't think the fight would have played out like it did, but I think if Jarrell Miller would have hurt Anthony Joshua, Jarrell Miller would have done his best to stop Joshua. Okay, so I think, and based on the juice that he had, we already know he was all juiced up. So he probably would have went in there and tried to kill Joshua. Ain't got to fight this motherfucker again. I killed him. I killed this motherfucker. I killed him. I told him, say I won't slap you right now. Say I won't come over there and slap the shit out of you right now. I came over there and knocked the shit out of him right now. Hey, Kurt, if Joshua wins the rematch, does he deserve to be the number 1 heavyweight over Fury? No, I think this. I think until Fury fights Joshua, if he wins or whatever. See, Fury now has to fight Usyk. Okay? But even if he beats Usyk, Joshua in the rematch, that doesn't mean that he's better than Fury. And that doesn't mean Fury's better than him. It means that they have to fight to see who's better. That's all. That's the simplest shit to explain about the heavyweight division. Everyone has to fight to see who the victor is. There's too many people claiming someone's the best right now without fighting anyone. Why? Why are you claiming someone? Just say you're a fan of the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just say it. You know, hey, I like Tyson Fury, therefore he's the best because I like him. Okay, you're biased because you are a fan of that fighter. I get it. But don't be making claims as though like Tyson Fury he'll beat Joshua. Tyson Fury he'll beat Usyk. Tyson Fury he'll beat Joe Joyce. Tyson Fury has not fought any of those people. Those people have nothing to do with Deontay Wilder. That's the person that he beat. They have nothing to do with an old ass Vladimir Klitschko in 2015. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Joshua has beat Vladimir. That's so they have a common opponent. Oleksandr Usyk sparred him, and Klitschko kicked his ass out because he made him look bad on TV. You can imagine that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Olek, get out. Get out. You made me look bad on TV. You don't do this. That's not country way. You made me look bad on TV. All your running and dancing. You made me look. Get out. Well, what's the crack, Kurt? Here from Ireland, Rick McCann. Counterpunch to you. G the PT. Okay, look, we're in this thing. All right. Now, and I'll do this first because we all know. If you guys know, okay, you guys know that Tyson Fury. I hope you guys seen the IFL interview. Okay, seen the IFL interview, and we heard what Tyson Fury said. He said he accused Oleksandr Usyk of juicing. Now, people watch too much Rocky 4. You never know what of any of these guys are on. Spider Silva surprised me. Yeah, the top 5 heavyweights need to fight each other more than once a year. I'm hopeful, but pretty sure we'll get only 1 to 2 big fights from heavyweight division. Yeah, we're not going to get everything we thought we were going to get. That's crazy. He said it to AJ, but not to Usyk. Well, Terry, you mean he said that to AJ? Said what to AJ? Because he was talking about them both, but technically he wasn't talking to any of them. He was talking about them. You can talk about any fucking body, but talking to them when they're in your presence is something totally different. So again, I don't know what you're meaning by that, but just in case you are, that's the counterpunch. Didn't Usyk and Joshua get tested right before the fight? Danny Stuntman. Danny Stuntman, you are absolutely right. They did. They got tested. They nothing came out foul play, no adverse finding, none of that shit. So again, I don't know what that is about. Does anyone on this planet honestly believe AJ is natural? When you say natural, you're saying if he's taking any performance enhancing drugs. Because when you talk about natural, like natural to me, when you talk about his body style, no, that shit's not natural. Do I mean he's juicing? No, I'm not saying he's juicing. You can go to the gym and get jacked. You get jacked. You can get like I can go to the gym, gain 20 pounds, and be all bowed the fuck up. Chances are I won't be able to fight like I normally do. I may be a little stronger, so if I hit somebody, I might. Chances are the ass is going to be floored. But who's to say I can't do that now? At 238, I'm probably about 238 right now. But who's to say I can't do that now? Versus at 258, 260, right? And I'm jacked up. I'm lifting weights every day. I'm eating. You know what I mean? I think that's Joshua. You look at Joshua. Joshua's a lean cat. And I'm gonna tell you another way you can find out how Joshua is supposed to look. Look at his calves. People talk about Deontay Wilder. That brother has some skinny legs. He does. But if you look at Joshua's he's like he's applied muscle onto his femur area, but his calves are not thick. He has like lean calves, so he's really a leaner dude. And that pretty much shows you. Depends on your on your genetic structure. Some get muscular easy. Some do. I get muscular easy. It don't take me long to look jacked. I could work out and you're like, damn, dude, you really been hitting it. Yeah. But some people can't. Look at Tyson Fury. That motherfucker stays doing something. Hey, me lad! Fucking shit jiggling for days, for months. You know, it is endurance support. That is why the old fighters did not carry too much muscle. It is different now because of what they are on. Well, you have to also understand too something very important, people, when you're dealing with steroids and injections. A lot of people are looking at that, and I'm glad you made that up. People from yesteryear didn't have all the fucking preservatives and additives and things of that nature and hormones inside the food. Okay, so a lot of times you're thinking that this shit's like, oh, yeah, this is, man, dude, the food, dude, there are women with asses in Japan now. Need I say more? They're curvy. The Japanese men are complaining that their women are getting too curvy. Why? Because the processed fucking food, the hormones are in their food. No, this is not a joke. Don't laugh. It's true. That's it. Like you have Japanese women. Normally they're like, you know what I mean? Small. And now they're thick. Go figure. Why? Why are they thick? Because of the food. So people are getting muscular. But does that mean you didn't have muscular people back then like Jack Johnson and shit like that? Like Kid Gavilan. Those guys were naturally fucking stout. No, that doesn't mean that. But not everyone's like that. But it doesn't mean you can't go to the gym and bulk the fuck up like Evander Holyfield. Beef! Canelo's Mexican beef, Charles, eh? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Need to check some Japanese. Well, yeah, word of the day. Seriously. They're getting curvier because the food is different. The food is changing. They're allowing more vendors. They're allowing more imports. They're allowing more products that come from other places, just like over here. All of us Americans, a lot of us we're fat as fuck. Why? Because of the shit in the food. The food, they put preservatives in there so they can last long on the shelves, so they can sell that shit so it won't decay, so they'll have less waste. Okay? Less shrinkage in profits. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons they do that shit. They do that for that reason. Okay, but is AJ natural? No, he's not natural because he goes in and fucking buffs up. He beefs up, right? He, what you call bulks up, which you don't need that shit to be a boxer. If Joshua was natural, Joshua would be about 220 fucking pounds, lean, 6'6", a lean cat. You know what I mean? You know who he would look like? He would look like fucking similar to Lawrence Okali. Lawrence Okali. That's how he would look. He would be faster. He would be quicker. But perception, image is a mother sucker. That's what it is. You see Joshua bulked up. You're like, damn, it's a big ass dude. Right? He looks like a heavyweight. That's the difference. Kurt is right. The food is muck. It's called protein. Yeah, protein. But I mean, what do you think factories inject in chicken now at chicken factories? They inject that shit so they can grow a chicken faster than normal. And when you eat that shit, you are a part of what you just ate. You are a part of that process. So yeah, you will get bigger. That's why you got 13-year-old fucking kids looking like grown damn women. Now, if you have all you need from them is a lion tongue, and you got problems. I didn't know she was 16. Yeah, well, you should ask for ID, bud. Kurt, taking steroids builds more muscle than working out 7 days a week does. Yeah, so, but I mean, you could always mix and match, right? What up? Can we get a Floyd? Money Mayweather, Chase Money, counterpunch to you. Floyd will be the first person to shit all on you. First of all, I just want to let everybody know that cheaters, people that cheat, they shouldn't even be in the sport of boxing. And I don't cheat. I know fighters that did cheat, like Sugar Shane Mosley. I still beat him. Like Canelo, he ate the Mexican beef. I still beat him. He was probably cheating. He was probably cheating with me, but I still beat him. But if he was a black fighter, he probably wouldn't even been in the sport of boxing. They would have kicked him out and they never returned him. That's Floyd. The Greek Freak. Wow, West African genes aren't suited to strong man powerlifting. They are suited to sprinting, combat sports, and boxing. And AJ trains like half a weightlifter, so go figure. Strangeness. I can't argue with you there based on what they have in that region. But if you talk about genetics, you're gonna have to remember something about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is like, I think is like his grandfather's Irish, bro. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's grandfather, he said that. He didn't really talk about it much because they asked him about Rob McCracken. He's like, well, you could ask Rob about that, because my grandfather's Irish. Tyson is the only one juicing with the bald head of his. Danny Stuntman. That motherfucker was going to be bald anyway. You sound like Boxing Ego. Cut that shit out. Is it a trait to take steroids to be bald? Yeah, somewhat. But if you're already damned to be bald, you can't say that because you're bald is steroids. And when you got a father that's fucking bald-headed, come on now. I don't know what John Fury's dad looks like, but he looks exactly like his father. Matthew Branch, yo, Kurt counterpunch to you. That's not true either. Taking steroids help you recover faster and work out longer. You still have to bang out in the gym. Yeah, that's true. Hold on again. I got to get some water. Okay. I am back. Jim 82 with that $5 coming in with that $5 currency. Appreciate you, brother. With that super chat. Let's see. Kurt, what's your best AJ accent? I don't know. Sometimes I can pull AJ off, but sometimes I can't because he has this like a. I hear him talking shit, but it's like I'm not really good on like British accents. How Fury on roids and built like the Michelin Man. King Mike Hall. Easy. You have to remember, Fury was a very big man at one time. And people are just built like that. You can, like, when I grew up going to high school, right, and elementary and shit like that, you just seen people that are naturally fat, naturally not athletic. They don't have a type of build like that. And then, a lot of times they never will be. They can work their ass off to look average, you know? Anthony Josh was mentally weak and as a fighter and skills is not good. Well, I've known people that were fat, boys have titties, knock knees, you know what I mean, bent legs and shit. I mean, it happens, man. And love handles. There hasn't been a time since they were maybe 3 or 4 years old where they didn't have what they had. They've had all that. They've had love handles. They've had fat ass bellies and titties hanging and shit like that, and bent legs and toothpick legs and not a strong structure. And I mean, like, it's a lot of things about kids. All people will not look the same and will not be the same. Anthony Joshua was mentally weak and as a fighter with skills, that's not good. West Knowledge is 101. Smith and West. Cocaine is a stimulant. It's a performance enhancer as well. That's why it's banned. Okay. Tell that to Tony Montana, I take your bullet. The BBOFC accepted it was genuine mistake in White's part. The supplement company was prosecuted and liquidated for misleading athletes. Well, Counterpunch making a steroid mixture. Pay attention. Yeah, man, this is with lemon and water. I'll chop a lemon. I don't really like using the bottle lemon liquid shit. I just like real lemons. I like seedless lemons, but I don't think there's a such thing because you're gonna have some fucking seeds in a lemon. But I like the little ones that label themselves as seedless. I chop that sucker in half and I take it and I just squeeze it down in there. Then what I do, I take the peel and then I put that in water and I boil it. Fury built like he never met a sit up. He effed with how he on steroids. I can hear the rappers. Okay. A lot of boxers get away with taking supplement enhancements through therapeutic use exemptions. AJ has been rumored to have many. I don't know how true that is. I mean, I've heard that, Kurt, which fighter do you think are hardcore juicing right now? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, because I don't like who would be. Nobody comes to mind because I don't really think about that shit as much. Who's on the juice? Nah. I think about who's better than the other fighter based on what I see, and I don't base that on because they're doing drugs. I base that on their hard work and dedication and their God-given reflexes and talent. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what the fuck they're on, they're going to have to need all those I just named. And if they don't have them, it won't matter how much juice they have. They'll just be some juiced up freaking boxing gloves that's about to get his ass beat. That's what happens. Damn, but for some athletes using cocaine for just that purpose, the drug is well known for its ability to increase high energy levels, so it's not surprising that athletes in cocaine use would become an issue. Well, word of the day, I'll tell you this much. You guys remember a fighter named Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson used to fucking go in the ring high as shit. And he knocked a whole bunch of motherfuckers out, I'm pretty sure, off coke. And he had coke laced in his system. He was sweating cocaine out of him. Blow my nose. It's an 8-ball in my nose. Just blow it. Save it for later.
It's still liquidy. I can still slap it up after the show. Don't throw away the handkerchief. Don't throw away.
Yep, Camacho Senior. That's right. He got bought. Look, Hector Camacho, Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker. Those motherfuckers did coke, bro. They did coke. Mm-hmm. The only thing is, Oscar De La Hoya, he was such in the spotlight that everything he did outside the spotlight was kind of, PR'd and protected. He had a rape case and shit, sexual assault case or whatever himself, and involved drugs and shit like that. So, De La Hoya, I mean, he really didn't really start getting bad until he got out. Orange, apple, cranberry, grape, pineapple. This needs investigation. 80s athletes, for the most part, did a little. Yeah, I know, right? Booger sugar. Oh, man. Do some impressions, Kurt. Imagine sub-intention. Imagine being Tyson Fury and accusing someone of drugs. You imagine that? Yeah, that fucker's on drugs now. I know, Usyk, the little fucking steroid freak. Give me some of that white powder. Give me some. Give me some. I put it on your tit. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Kiss me right here. Oh, Tyson. I'm the Gypsy King. I love Mike Tyson because he did coke. I do coke. It was good for you. I didn't know Pernell Whitaker did cocaine. Yes, gentleman game. He did cocaine. He tested positive in the late 90s. And he said it. Look, and this is what Pernell Whitaker said. He said, man, I like to party and I like to enjoy my life just like anybody else would like to enjoy theirs. So Pernell Whitaker liked to party, bro. Oh, yes. Before he fought Felix Trinidad, this was between like 97 and 99. He had to go through like a rehab and shit because he was a fighter. And of course, you can't fight or can't be approved for license to fight if you have any kind of substance like that. Yeah, Sweet Pea got down with that sweet coke. You know, didn't know Usyk is on Peds. I just think he's highly conditioned boxer who happened to be better than AJ. I wonder if there's a racial bias because he's white. I love your impressions. I don't think so. Well, to me, he's not. I don't shit on Tyson Fury because he's white or anything like that. Uh, but it's people that do. It's channels that do. I won't name no names. There's no need to giving them free fucking publicity. But they hated Tyson Fury because he was white. I mean, if you don't see that based on their other material, I don't know what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Mike smoked coke out of a. I don't know. I mean, I know he did a lot of cocaine. I know Richard Pryor did that other shit. I didn't know how much. I didn't know he smoked it. I know he smoked weed and shit like that. But I don't know, man. I didn't hang around Mike Tyson. Fuck. Scale Sutherland on coke. Kurt. I don't know. He looks like he would partake in a little fucking nose candy. You know what I'm saying? Kurt, so far, Fury is saying this about Usyk after telling him that he will bet 1 million on him. Yeah, Tyson Fury is a man of mind games. Nikki Blue Eyes Austin, good evening, Kurt. Nice to catch you live again. I don't think Usyk is juicing personally, and I don't like conspiracy theories, innocent until proven guilty. Well, obviously, people are name dropping names that are people that are not fighting. Tyson Fury's not fighting Usyk, but he's talking about Usyk. He's talking about Joshua. He's not fighting either of those guys. I mean, eventually he will. He'll fight the winner. But him saying that he's on juice. Let me look this up. Check this out. 6.7 thousand votes. 6,700 votes. And 37, and the question is, do you think Oleksandr Usyk has used PEDs any time in his career, as Tyson Fury proclaimed? 37% said yes. 63% said no. Wow. Um, wow. Okay. I sniff coke off toilet seats. Ugh. Looks like Yoka could fight Hergovic next Tuesday fight. Let's see if he takes that. I think Fury said that he was on PEDs because he came up from middleweight sparring Porter and losing to heavyweight. Never heard him say that, but I don't personally think he's on PEDs. But you never know. Well, the question is, why would Tyson Fury say something like that based on what? Because see, at the end of the day, he's still going to have to explain that. If this is a belief versus what he knows, because he can say what he believes. He can, everybody has a right to their own opinion. But at the end of the day, if he has no proof of him saying that, that's just a belief. That's just something that he believes. But understand his beliefs, doing to the fact his beliefs that he's proclaimed his beliefs to everyone that would listen. He's liable to get sued. Why? Because there's nothing that's backing up him saying that Oleksandr Usyk is on PEDs. Okay. Does anyone know if Art Man paid his gambling debt from Fury versus Wilder 3 yet? Last time I checked, he just blocked everyone and ran. I don't know. I don't listen to him and I don't watch him. He called him a middleweight in the video, Kurt. Oh, yeah, he did call him a middleweight. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He did. Maybe he meant cruiserweight. What do you think of the Terrence Crawford situation with Bob Arum? I mean, I'm glad Terrence Crawford took a stand because Bob Arum was straight up disrespecting him because Bob Arum had to pay him too much money based on the contract that he created for Terrence Crawford, in which Terrence Crawford signed. I don't think anything about it. I don't feel sorry for, fuck him. Tyson knows he's not juicing, but he's got people talking. Juicers have a look. Usually, New Galata definitely had that look. Oh, Galata, Jesus, he did look. Now, if you looked at a line of people and you lined them up and you asked which guy looks like he's on the juice, and you had fucking Andrew Galata. Andrew Galata looked like a fucking madman. I think he was kind of crazy because he didn't fathom what it meant to not hit below the belt. Balls were, and it was a safe place for him. Usyk has more juice than Tropical. Usyk is a special talent. I really don't believe he's ever juiced natural talent, but I'm still team AJ. Nikki Blue Eyed Austin. Counterpunch to you. I think the most of the boxers are on pads on that level. There are many ways to avoid being caught nowadays. Well, I don't want to believe that, but a lot of people think that. Any big fights coming up? No, not unless you think Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios is a fight that's worth watching. Don't worry, I can only do Texans. I know, right? Why is everyone still pushing Mike Paul or Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul? Do you think it? I don't want to see that shit. I hope not. Prime example: Big Baby was one four of them mofo's. Look how he looked. Physical appearance. It's always a tall tale sign. Yeah, he's a big. You imagine though. Jarrell Miller probably would have looked the same. All he had to do was fucking just keep working out and diet. You didn't need the fucking juice to look a certain way, but you could tell he's a big guy. I would hate to fight Jarrell Miller because he's so damn big. You know what I mean? Usyk Juicyk. Glenn P. Stop. To this day, Green Earth. Kurt, you play Texas Hold'em? Nope. Hey Kurt, do boxing fans hold know that juicing doesn't win fights? Skill wins fights. This is boxing, not football. That's right. Counterpunch to you. I watched a minute documentary on Usyk before the AJ fight, and he was weightlifting with Ukrainians, Olympic gold medalists, showing Usyk different exercises and stuff. Okay, it's like saying smoking an ounce of weed before a fight beneficial. Okay, it is not the look; it's the endurance. I feel fine. It's just the cough. The cough will not go away. Frank Sanchez versus Hergovic. It's a good fight. Shit, why don't they offer it to Frank Sanchez? I would love to see Frank Sanchez get it on with Hergovic. Now let's see if Hergovic takes that fight. See, Hergovic, boo hoo, poor Hergovic. No one wants to fight him, but then fighters that want to fight him, it's, oh no, I don't think that's a good fighter. Just fuck you. Fight the people that want to fight you. Canelo versus Charlo being considered. No, Jock Oddsock. That is not true. They're not being considered. Okay? That's not true. They're not even talking. It's not always about physical. Look at Fury. You wouldn't think he used Pez, but yet he pissed hot before. I am underscore Dave. Absolutely. I sniff a line. I don't want to fight, just want to talk shit. Is it your daughter screaming to this day? She's cool. Yeah, she's cool. Just a casual. It is true Crawford suing Top Rank. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on. I think he's getting lawyers to sue Top Rank, and he should. A lot of juicers in boxing. Heard quite a few ex-pros saying there's is a large percent of juicers that get to the top. Most of them have been known and also caught. Well, you look at Roy Jones. He popped dirty. This motherfucker popped dirty, and his opponent popped dirty too. So they're both juiced up. I heard has been offered. Oh, is it Tox? You mean Yoka? Damn, actually, I just got the notification. Triple G and Canelo are even no clean winner here. There. Sanchez versus Hergovic. Oh, yes, brilliant shot. Mark Fig, I believe you. Usyk has my respect regardless of what happens in the next fight. Oh, shit, I forgot about Roy. Yeah, he popped dirty. Shit. Him, Sugar Shane, Fernando Vargas. Who popped dirty back then? Who else popped dirty back then? Wasn't too many people. But I know those three popped dirty. Kurt, what do you think we should still see Fury versus White? Yeah. We may see it. We may. Hopefully. I'm glad you don't turn this into a clown show. It's just look at Showbiz the Gray. Who the hell is Showbiz the Gray? Okay. Hergovic and Yoka, will it happen? I don't know. But then the question is, it's just so much shit you don't know. Usyk versus Hergovic, a proper fight. He'll beat Hergovic. He'll beat Hergovic. I want to see Hergovic versus Joe Joyce. Jamie, hello. Well, all know those Eastern Bloc countries were re-owned for weightlifting and anabolic steroids. Their methods are tired and tested, and Usyk has that look. Okay. Are we going to see a banging heavyweight division this year? Hopefully. Oh, okay. Glenn, anything is possible. Wouldn't be shocked on one bit. This is boxing. Too much money at stake. Tommy Morrison backed by the government. Then I swear, guys like Hergovic, Joyce are way too slow to cause problems. Hmm. Frank Bruno had a big coke problem after he retired. Not sure about when he was active. Damn. Hey, so did Ricky Hatton. Mm-hmm. Ricky Hatton had a bad cocaine problem. And who did he hang around with? Tyson Fury. Hitman, give me a hit, Hitman. I want your plug boil. Who do you get that shit from? It looks like it's straight out of the jungles of Colombia. Ah! Tyson, you're crazy, Tyson. That's right. Give me all of your coke. I'll buy the whole thing. Fury still has a big coke problem. I don't know if he still does. Now, I had a friend of mine though. Uh, he did the nose thing. Like he got his nose and shit. Like they went in his nose and cleaned out all that shit. Just a casual. I only have problems without cocaine. Hatton was on it when he ended up in a Spanish jail. Fury would be dope to party with, though. He would be. Yeah, man, if it was anything like if it was out of Joshua, Fury, and Wilder, who I would hang out, I would definitely hang out with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, me and Tyson Fury would come through. He'd be wearing that big ass suit with no fucking shirt under it and shit, and nice ass, those damn Versace suits and shit. You know, he'll come in. Hey, what's going on? I'll take him up there to Stray Cats. Stray Cats is a bar where all the actors come in whenever you film in Shreveport. It's a bar that everyone came to. Like it's a uh, what's the name of the hotel? Residence? No, it's not Residence. It's I forget the name of it. Shit. It's downtown, downtown Shreveport, but it's right beside Stray Cats. Not Radisson. It's damn. How do I forget that? But it's an upscale upscale hotel like Ray Liotta from Goodfellas and Ben Scott and Josh Brolin and all those guys. Um, do you hoover up much snow, Kurt? What the hell is that? No, we don't have snow here. Hergovic versus Frank Sanchez would be fireworks. Yeah, that'd be cool. Doubt Usyk is on peds. He doesn't seem like that type of man. Tyson is just stirring the pot. Yeah, I think he is. I'm gonna look that shit up now because now it's bothering me. Okay. All right, Margaritaville. Remington. Yeah, the Remington suite, right? So I know it's an R something. But it's right beside the Remington suite. And Stray Cats is right beside it. And a lot of people, Brendan Boyce, appreciate you, brother. Um, and a lot of whenever you have a film that comes into Shreveport, that's where all the actors go. They go to Remington. And they put them at Remington or they put them at the casino like El Dorado, but El Dorado's kind of wide open and a lot of actors get kind of, fucked up. Snow, it's cocaine. Cocaine. Nah, man. Um, Nikki Blue Eyes Austin, I heard Khan Harley training and Kale training hard. Well, that means Kale is going to knock his ass out. He says, "Do you sniff Peru's finest, Kurt?" No, never. I never. No, but Remington is where everyone goes. And Stray Cats is kind of like an historical bar. Like it's been there forever, and then a lot of people go over there, and you see a lot of them party over there. So that's where they hang out. Tyson Fury will go down there and fucking just, hey, I'm the Gypsy King. Welcome to Stray Cats. I am the Stray Wolf. I will show you the Gypsy King how we party and get it down. Cut, my boy. Let's go, Cuddy. Let's go. Have a shot on me, Cut. Let's get drunk. We're gonna get hammered, and then we're gonna get some women and hammer them into the ground. Like, damn, Tyson. Where's the coke, my boy? Do you know where it's at? Where's the snow? I don't know if it snows in Shreveport, but I hope so. Bars. I heard that's the case. Yeah, man. They take me to your leader. I buy all of it. How much would you? I like it all. Do you think Dubois will continue to KO truck drivers in the first round for the next few fights? Yep. That's what he'll do. That's what he's good at doing. Juicy smart fall. Are you going live for Khan versus Brook? When does Khan fight Brook? I'll go live. I mean, if I can watch it. If it is it on the zone? Yeah, that joke running dry like you get like okay. I don't know what that means. That joke running dry like your girlfriend. Do you think Joyce can swing with the top tier? I don't know. I mean, he has to go in there and find out. I don't know. I mean, everybody has a bad day versus, everyone could fight the fight of their life. How's about Steven Seagal versus Jake Paul? Steven Seagal, that's another cokehead. Van Dam, that's another cokehead. Van Dam, man, they said Van Dam said that he did like $10,000 of coke a week. I'm like, how in the fuck could you? I mean, you had to be doing it with someone. This channel has turned into clickbait suing circle for gossip. Clint M. That's okay. You can go. That's fine. Thank you for your like Floyd said, you're everybody's entitled to their opinion, but Clint M, your opinion is not wanted. So, you can go. Canadian truck drivers can't cross the border. No vax. No, they can't. Canada is weird though, man, with like that, if you don't wear a mask, people look at you like you're fucking strange. You know what I mean? If you're walking around, they'll sway away from you and shit. Like it's really fucked the world up real bad. And I used to love Canada. Canada, you have a lot of hot women, a lot of down to earth people. People like to party, but when this shit happened, no one likes to do anything. Everyone's like to. You're like, fuck. You don't know what anybody looks like. Van Dam looked little in the Coors advertising, not like he used to. Looked ill. Yeah. Van Dam is OMD. What the hell is that? Canada are in Nazi control. Yeah. Gypsy travelers like coke, but not weed, as they say it makes you lazy. Well, you just need some. He just needs some sativa. Not all weed is the same. Old. Okay. Van Damme is like 60, 61. JC becoming Seagal, except he won't pretend to be a police officer. Kurt knows what's up. A good sativa will keep you up and creative. Yeah, I mean that's why. Why do you think that they're like legalizing so many? Like you go to Oklahoma. Jeez, man, Oklahoma has like dispensaries on every fucking corner. I'm like, damn. Weed fights cancer, St. Don. Listen, I had a stunt brother named Mark Chavarria. Mark Chavarria, 10 years ago, they 10 years ago they diagnosed this man with some type of cancer. It's hereditary. He was going to die. They gave him 6 months to live. He started smoking weed and he lived for 8 years. So Chuck Norris was once bitten by a rattlesnake. After 12 hours of excruciating pain, the rattlesnake died. Who do you think would win between 1990s U.S. Tyson versus 2020s Gypsy King? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would beat the Gypsy King. He would beat him. The 2020, yeah, because Tyson would be trying to come in and get nailed with something. He would get nailed from a counter. Will AJ get his belts back of Usyk? I don't know. I mean, I think AJ has to, and he looks like he's getting bigger to me. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't think he's like. I think he's getting bigger. I don't think he's shredding. I think he's getting a lot bigger, and it's like, yo, what the hell? Hey, Kurt, what do you think of CBD oil? CBD oil is great. Like hemp is great. Like I used to run a lot, and then at times I will smoke um some Jack Herer, some CBD, or I'll take the lotion and rub it on. The lotion's good, but the lotion itself is not as effective as actually smoking it to me. And I can do like pretty much everything as far as like drive a car and shit like that. It won't fade me out like that because I don't like driving under any kind of circumstances because I do have like the highest source of license, so I don't like to smoke shit like that. Even though you'll still pop dirty or whatnot, so you got to be careful. I'd like to see Prograis versus Crawford would be a great fight. I would like to see Prograis versus fucking Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a motherfucker that needs to fight somebody dangerous. Do you think Mike Tyson? Damn it. Do you think Mike Tyson hits harder than Deontay Wilder? Balanced attack, Mike. One punch, Wilder. Wilder has a harder right than probably Mike Tyson's one of his punches, but it doesn't matter because Mike Tyson can knock you out with either hand. Deontay Wilder cannot. Do you know why both Tyson spar and train in their underpants? No. Do you? Okay, let's see. Yeah, AJ getting his belts back. That southpaw ain't getting Usyk passed again. Will Tyson Fury ever fight Anthony Joshua? I don't know at this point. Yes, I agree, Kurt, with AJ bulking up and going for broke. I have noticed the size difference. I think AJ will come in between 247, 250, and if he does, and if Usyk's too much for him, he's gonna be knocked out in 9 rounds because he's not gonna be able to. He fucking look. He was exhausted in their first fight. So why do you think he would come in there with 10 extra pounds on him, talking about bulking up and landing punches? But I mean, but that's all a mental thing because he thinks in his mind like, look, if I'm heavier, I hit harder. Since I hit harder, I'll be more effective. If I'm more effective, I'll be able to take out Oleksandr Usyk. He better hope it's right, because if not, and the shit doesn't work, 9 rounds, fucking AJ is mince meat. And he's going to look like mincemeat, because once Oleksandr Usyk gets to connecting with him, and he's not going to be able to move like he did and all that up and down shit he was trying to do with Usyk, he's not going to be able to do that and maintain that through those rounds, big as he is with 10 extra pounds. Bars. Deontay Wilder couldn't do it as well. Why do you think he was looking like he was looking? Yes, he was getting knocked upside the head, but at the end of the day, he was still getting tired. You can't, he can't work with all that fucking weight. But I'm tripped out though. 37% thinks or thought, 37% out of 6,800 votes, 37% thinks that Oleksandr Usyk has been on the juice. Wow. That is absolutely crazy. Crazy, man. No, just hit harder. I think AJ would finish Usyk in the final round. That would be some badass shit, because if it had to get to the 12th round, we've had 11 rounds of action, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully. Deontay Wilder doesn't run though and train. Will Usyk be able to take thunderous combos off of bigger AJ? Well, I mean, the question is, will AJ be able to hit him with those combos? Was he able to hit Usyk with combos then? Most of the punches that AJ hit Usyk with was one punch at a time. And I'm going to tell you guys this, give you a little sneak peek, because I was going to do a video about this. You know what? I'll just wait for the video. How did you got so knowledgeable on boxing? How old are you, Kurt? Man, I'm 75 years old. I'm a mutant. So I know everything from the Did Lie Joe to Damned If I Know. Joshua needs to go after Usyk and go all out in the first and 4 out of 5 rounds, and then go for the knockout, or he's getting beat the same way Holyfield beat Tyson. Different engines. Ooh, speed and accuracy beats power every time. Jacob Cooper counterpunch to you. Let's see. Do you think Kale is shirt lifter? I don't know what that is. This is too low a percentage. Kurt about 40. Glenn P 75. Usyk is not on PEDs. All of the AJ's fights are strictly tested. AJ is the most tested heavyweight in boxing. Hmm. Power, skill. Um, AJ has the best resume, man. Marquez KO's Pac Man. 75, still younger than Ortiz. Scance Ranch Kurt's 38 to 39. Ooh, hey, getting close, are you? It's nuts, Kurt, all because it's come from someone who's been known to go off the rails through drink and drugs. It's funny to me. You know what it reminds me of? Before I jump off of here, I want to counterpunch something. Tyson Fury, based on the way he's what he's saying about Usyk, it reminds me of what Jarrell Miller said about Anthony Joshua. If you guys can remember, Anthony Joshua was accused of taking PEDs by Jarrell Miller, and Jarrell Miller was just like, "Yeah, you be juicing. That shit ain't natural. You can't go up there motherfucking much pounds. You can't go in there that many pounds like that being natural. Yeah, I know you. I know you. I know what you're doing. I know you plug." See, he knew that shit. If he knew anything, it would be because he was doing it himself. But does that mean that Jarrell Miller got some falsified or inaccurate information? White resume, good, but could have lost a few times. Do you think Canelo could beat AJ? If he was the same size, fuck yeah, he could. Yeah, he could. And you'd work to the body and come in. And it'd be a good fight though. But because AJ's good at getting out of position, you know what I mean? He's good at getting out of way of danger, you know. He's good at getting out of range. Did you see Klitschko's response to Tyson Fury and Fury's response back on his mystery? I did not. I can't wait for Fury to fight a real opponent. He talks too much. Anyone can KO White with an uppercut. AJ puts Canelo in a grave 2 rounds. What a silly question. Kurt would like to see Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder. Adari. Hey. On Big Guns. I can't wait. Yeah, that was Big Guns. All right. Cool, 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 cool. But man, I tell you, after 37% of the people that think that Usyk is juicing, I just say this to you guys. Where's the proof? Better yet, where did Tyson Fury hear it from? If it was something that he heard that he agrees with or believes, you know. So I think this was very interesting. But enough people got it right. I don't think Oleksandr Usyk's juicing. I don't think that should be the case on why people should accuse him because of another person, and then that other person could in turn get sued at the same damn time. Usyk ain't juicing, in my opinion. I don't think he would. I don't think he is. I don't think he ever has. But until we find out anything different, you know, it's innocent until proven guilty. I thank everybody for coming on this live stream. You guys keep voting if you haven't voted on my community page. Everybody be safe. God bless you. And you all has been counterpunched.